Good day. I am Robert Silverstein, MD, for the Preventive Medicine Center. We hope you enjoy this and all the programs that we produce here at Hartford Public Access TV. I want to encourage each of you to go to YouTube and see my little cooking video. I did a cooking video which was once shown on this channel, and you can get a little snippet of it there. We intend to put some of these Hartford Public Access TV shows snippets on also. And by snippet, I mean something around 3 minutes or so. So go to YouTube and check it out. Now, that's on the backside of my book, Maximum Healing, which I mentioned to you, not for sales. Of course, I want you to buy billions of copies of this. But really, if you have questions and you want it in a kind of single, concise answer, I encourage you to read through this and sort of skip the case histories, because they take up a fair amount of space. They are interesting, and I'm not saying don't read the case histories, but if you want to know what I really think and what I really say, it's sort of in between the case histories. Of course, this was co-written with my co-author, Tom Monty, who did much more of the writing than I did, but I kind of oversaw some of the ideas that went into it, and in addition, I sort of fine-tuned it to my likes. Someday I will write the book that I really want to. Next, I want to talk about, I had a patient who called me up and told me she has difficulty sleeping during the month of February. I'm not quite sure why that is, but she requires something like lorazepam or a cousin of Valium, but something in that neighborhood. She had tried the Rescue Sleep, and by the way, could we get a copy of this today? Make a DVD copy? Okay. This is Rescue Sleep, and if you're having trouble sleeping, this is $11, and it's a little spray bottle, and you spray it on your tongue. I used to spray it under my tongue, but this is very, very helpful. And as I explained to someone else who was having trouble sleeping today, get a 3-speed fan, not a 2-speed, but a 3-speed. And the reason for 3 speeds is that you need a background noise. And if you go from low to high, that's too much noise. What you want to go between is low and medium, because high makes too much noise and that'll keep you up. By the way, in case you don't know, this is being filmed on February 12th, which is a Tuesday, and we're going to have supposedly ice, rain, snow, storm, whatever, and I'm going to be out there dealing with that myself. I want to discuss today a man whose name is Richard Small. He has an exercise studio. The location is 801 Farmington Avenue in West Hartford. There's free parking on the street, and he does the Power of 10 program. He had given me his brochure. He's a very nice fellow. He came to my office, and I strongly recommend his program for you. The name of his house, location where he is Healthy Direction Center, 801 Farmington Avenue. If you want to call him, his telephone number is 570-0100. Boy, a lot of zeros there. 570-0100. Healthy Direction Center and healthydirectioncenter.com. I am a believer in taking some vitamins, but not too many. This happens to be one that I think is particularly good. It is pomegranate. It is pomegranate with a combination of coffee berry. There, Palm XL, Palm XEL CB, CB standing for coffee berry. I don't know what the XEL stands for, but it's a combination of pomegranate and coffee berry. I don't recommend taking antioxidants every day. I think if you took one 5 days a week, that would probably be adequate. I do believe that the body has a way of figuring out how to get around things, even good things, and so what I want you to do is take an antioxidant about 4 or 5 days a week. And if you take a mixture of vitamins, then take some on some days and others on other days and give your body a break. Now, let's see here. Intensive cholesterol reduction lowers blood pressure and large artery stiffness. I believe I may have talked about that before. And what it says is that you do a lot of good to reduce the stiffness of high blood pressure, which causes stiffness of the blood vessels, by lowering the cholesterol to very low levels. And what are those low levels? Those low levels are subtract the good cholesterol from the total cholesterol, and that number needs to be less than 90. The average person has a total cholesterol of around 205. Their good cholesterol is around 40. When you subtract 40 from 205, then the average person who has the average heart attack has a non-HDL of around 165. Well, you don't want to be average risk for a heart attack. You want to be below average risk. So you want to lower that total cholesterol to the point where when you subtract the good from the total, that number is 90. And as far as cholesterol goes, that gives you total freedom. I think I'm going, excuse me, I haven't done that in a long time, sneezed in here. That gives you, subtract the good from the total, and you want that number to be 90. Now, it would appear, here we go. Hypertension, high blood pressure. If you drink 2 cups of Planet Organic beet juice, that gives you increased nitric oxide level, and within about 2 hours' time, your blood pressure actually goes down quite a bit. Chronic pain may harm the brain. I don't really know quite how to say this, but there are people who come in with all kinds of complaints. And those people, I'm not saying they don't have issues, but when they come in with 4, 5, 6, 7 complaints after being seen a couple of times, that's when it begins to harm the brain. It changes the personality, but what they showed was it actually had an adverse effect on brain function. The association between physical activity and leisure time and leukocyte telomere length. Well, telomeres are the legs of the chromosome. And you want those to be longer because they actually get cut off a little bit at the ends with each cell reproduction. So the longer your telomeres, the better off they are. That is, as long as they're not too long or something abnormal has been done to them. So it turns out that you keep those telomeres, that DNA, healthy and happy by having it stay long, and that is associated with leisure time exercise, sort of the more exercise. This is a particularly interesting article. This is a page from Preliminary Communication, Journal of the American Medical Association, dated January 23rd. So we're talking about 2.5 weeks ago. This article was published, which basically showed if you are a type 2 diabetic, adjustable gastric banding. If you are a type 2 diabetic and you have one of those lap band procedures, you are more likely to clear up your diabetes than continuing to treat it. The word they use, remission, that's a very nice phrase. And I don't like the idea of taking medications for diabetes. I don't like the idea of having surgery for the treatment of diabetes, but I will tell you this. What I want is remission of diabetes. Diabetes is running heat too strong through the body, and it burns the tissues. It burns the tissues of the skin, the bones, the heart, the kidneys, the eyes. And this results in amputations, blindness, heart failure, heart attack, kidney failure, dialysis, and so on. Plus, diabetes is associated with more depression than non-diabetics. So I would encourage people who have type 2 diabetes who are, quote, stable, and do not have what I call the clear lines of definition or demarcation, that what they need to do is they need to get started in considering having the lap banding procedure to clear their diabetes, or like the word here is remission. Here's some funny things that George Carlin, the comedian, said.